I guess just for starters, talk about Caddo River's work.
He breathes well. It's 5/8 from the half-mile pole. I had him in 101. I think the clocker had him a touch faster. He worked on the inside of a 3-year-old colt. Warrant both breathes well. Caddo may have been a touch better, but happy with the way he breathed and cooled out, and he looked really good.
So all systems go at this point. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
reason not to run.
Yeah, we'll check him tomorrow morning. If all looks well, we just plan on entering him next week.
Tactically, what difference does it make having him in the race with that extra, another speed horse?
Well, it probably benefits our other two horses a bit, but that's kind of the way he likes to perform, up close. So we can't take that away from him. We're hopeful that he could, somehow get to the front and slow things down, which is going to benefit him. I don't know if that benefits the other horses. So it's kind of hard to, I don't have that crystal ball to know exactly how to play out. But we'll be aggressive with him away from the gate for sure.
On Mandaloon, he has kind of a unique bit on his bridle rack. Can you tell us a little
Yeah,
bit about it?
that's a gag bit. We call it a gag bit. It's just he's a strong horse to gallop. It just kind of gives the rider a little more control, gets him to slows him down a little bit. That's the reason for using that. We use it on several what we call tough horses that want to kind of overtrain at times is the reason for it.
Has he been in it before his race in New Orleans?
Oh yeah, he's been in it pretty much all winter, so it's something that he's used probably since January.
Okay.
You gonna take a road tomorrow morning, and do you know what time yet? Or kind of look at the weather?
Yeah, right now we're planning on Mandaloon and Essential Quality not working together, but similar time, probably around 5:15 first thing as soon as the track opens. Is what we're shooting for.
Where are you hoping Essential Quality was wrong? Where do you think would be the best place for him?
Somewhere in the middle. Hopefully next to a couple horses that know how to break straight. That's probably the biggest thing. I mean, that's really what you look for. Is just hopefully everybody can kind of break and stay straight. For the first 3 or 4 jumps, and gives everybody a fair shot.
What's the biggest thing you're looking for out of a work day like this? Like a couple things that jump out to you?
Yeah, it depends. You're really just looking for more of the same as far as these horses go. I mean, most of them are all in good form. Mandaloon himself, he actually threw a clunker last time. So, you just making sure he's continuing to work well, even though he didn't run well. He worked well leading up to his last race. I mean, he's definitely the question mark in the field as to if he's going to show up. If he does, he's a contender. If he runs a Louisiana Downs or Louisiana Derby race, he's not. So, you're just kind of, making sure they're taking over. At this point, I don't think there's a whole lot you're going to do to increase their performance. It's just kind of more of maintenance works at this point.
Has Mandaloon shown you anything different? I mean, have you changed anything with him?
Not really. I mean, he was training so well leading up to the Louisiana Derby. We thought, he was the favorite. Thought he would, perform well, and he just didn't. He was just a little flat in the race. Bounced out of it in great order. That's why we're here. He's still on the Derby trail, and he's obviously earned enough points in the Lecomte and the Risen Star to march forward. So, he deserves the right to run as long as he's doing well, and he's doing fantastic. So, here we are. Hopefully we can get through this work breeze tomorrow. He comes out of good order, and, on to next Saturday.
Is Mr. Anthony excited about having a Derby horse, or is that not does he do excitement?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some level of excitement. I think his family's very involved. The family's definitely happy and excited about having a Derby prospect. They've been down this road before, been very close, had a second. They won the Preakness a couple times, so they're definitely no stranger to having good horses on the Triple Crown Trail.
Are you nervous for your first Derby?
Not right now, no. Honestly, I'm not. I'm just, focused on all 3 of these horses. Obviously, we have 2 fillies in the Oaks as well, and some other great horses running on the undercard. So, I don't want to say it's, just another weekend, but right now it's just as if we were preparing for, any big weekend, Breeders' Cup, whatever it may be. You have to stay focused and, focused on each individual. So it's a lot of work, and I think when you're busy, you don't really have time to be very nervous.
Have you ever done the walkover before with another horse?
I did, yeah, with Dollar Bill, with Dallas Stewart, early 2000s. I think it's 2000. It was the year Monarchos won it.
So you know what to expect of it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be quite as busy this year as it was last year, given the fact the COVID restrictions, but it'll still be exciting.
Did all of your fillies work? Your Oaks fillies work today, or?
Yes, both fillies worked. Travel column breezed outside of a filly named Australasia that's 4 for 4. Went really good. I'd give a mild, I think that Travel column was a touch better. She's a really, really good workhorse. And, we saw more of that this morning. So she's doing fantastic. I think she's ready for next Friday. Coach breezed in company. She's not as flashy of a workhorse. She breezed with Adventuring. Adventuring's qualified for the Oaks, but we've opted to wait for the Black-Eyed Susan, and that's going to be her next race. And Coach was a good move. She's not the greatest workhorse in the world, but she put in a good move this morning.
Dale Roman said the toughest part of being a Louisville trainer in the Derby is dealing with all the ticket requests. Have you had to deal with any of that yet, or is
No,
that still
and I'm
to
not
come?
going to. I'm a horse trainer, not a ticket broker. So.
He's gray and his movement. What you would tell somebody on the telephone if you wanted to describe him?
He's a colt. I mean, he's smart. He's a very, very intelligent horse. You just see it, and, when you're around these horses enough, you kind of figure out the ones that are, there's something about him, something special about him. He's very special, mentally, and obviously, physically showed up in he's 5 for 5. So, he's a very good colt. We think a lot of him. We've always thought a lot of him, from since the first time we breezed him. We thought, wow, this is a good colt. And he's never let us down. He's just, he's what good, he's kind of like, reminds me of like a Monomoy girl, as far as a male version. He brings it every week. When you breeze him, I mean, he shows up and he works well every week. There's never been a work that you're like, wow, it's not as good as the last one. It's very steady and honest and, very talented, obviously, but he's a very intelligent horse.
Yeah, and his stride, maybe?
Yeah, he's got a good way of going. I mean, he's really light on his feet, and I'm hoping we have a fast track. But if we don't, he won't mind a wet track either. I think anyone saw him gallop here 2 mornings ago saw that he floated over a sloppy track, and then obviously in the southwest at Oaklawn, he cruised around there, and I get some really good horses and was set 2-3 wide that day, and just kicked on down the lane. So I mean, he's a horse that went on a wet track, a fast track. He's different styles. I mean, people are like, what about the pace? I mean, he adjusts to the pace. So I mean, I don't really think there's a spot where you can put him going into the first turn where he's not going to be comfortable. And obviously Louise rode him in his last 4 starts and knows him well and has confidence in him. So, he's going to be able to maneuver him put him where he needs to be and have confidence and save some horse for down the lane. Yeah, it's a little bit. It was an odd year last year, right? So, we just this is 3-year-old group. These fillies, we've always thought Travel Column was one of our better 3-year-old fillies, and Coach started out 3 for 3. So they were fillies that we were definitely trying to get to the Kentucky Oaks, and it's worked out. They've accomplished enough this winter to accumulate the points, and here we are.
With who he's riding, I mean, he's won this race basically. But what happened. Are you concerned at all that goes into his mind if he's on the track, or is it just such a riding a horse race?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, this guy's won. He just won the Dubai World Cup. He won the Saudi Cup. I mean, he's a world-class rider. Bottom line, and he's I could not believe that Essential Quality was his first Breeders' Cup win. I found that out in like a couple hours after the race. But he has a lot of confidence in his horse. We've had a lot of confidence in him for years. This isn't like we just hooked up last fall with him riding Essential Quality. We've been riding him for 4 or 5 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. And you get your money's worth. He's always gives a big effort, good effort, and he's a classy guy. He's soft-spoken guy that's honestly, if you met him and you knew him, you'd be the last thing in the world you'd think is a guy that would get rattled. He's very low key and even killed.